It was midnight when my phone buzzed unexpectedly. A message from my wife glowed on the screen. My heart raced, thinking it might be a sweet late-night note, but the truth that followed froze me. The message hinted at plans I wasn't part of, names I didn't recognize. My hands trembled as I unlocked her phone, curiosity battling fear. What I discovered next shattered every assumption I had about our marriage. Hidden messages, secret calls, and plans I was never supposed to see revealed a betrayal so deep, it made me question everything I thought I knew about her, and us. I'm Ryan, 34, married for 8 years. A man who thought he had built a solid life. My job in finance keeps me busy, but I've always made time for my wife, Sophie. I prided myself on being attentive, loyal, and devoted. Friends called us the perfect couple, laughing together, supporting one another. I believed that trust and love were enough to sustain us. Yet, little did I know, the trust one valued was fragile, easily broken, and hiding secrets that would soon turn my entire world upside down in ways I never imagined possible. Our anniversary had been a picture of happiness. Dinner reservations, wine, her favorite dessert, laughter filling the room. We shared stories, jokes, and dreams of the future. Life felt smooth, predictable, and secure, like a perfect bubble surrounding us. Friends admired our bond, and I felt proud of the life we had built together. But behind the smiles, I had never noticed subtle signs, extra phone glances, unexplained messages, a nervous glance when my attention drifted. That night, the illusion of perfection began to crack, exposing a reality I was unprepared to face. Work had been intense lately. Endless reports, late nights, and the pressure to perform left me exhausted, often distracted when I returned home. I thought I was providing, supporting, and building our future, but perhaps my focus on career made Sophie feel distant, overlooked, or lonely. I blamed myself quietly, thinking maybe I wasn't enough. Yet, the signs went beyond my fatigue. Something in her behavior seemed secretive, deliberate. That midnight message forced me to confront the possibility that our relationship wasn't just strained, it was being actively undermined behind my back. Unlocking her phone felt like crossing a line, but desperation drove me. Texts revealed flirtations I had never imagined, secret meetings, and calls at odd hours. Each notification tore at my trust, confirming fears I couldn't voice. The conflict in my mind raged. Was this temporary, a mistake, or intentional betrayal? Every hidden conversation deepened the wound. The woman I loved, whom I trusted with my life, had cultivated an entirely secret world I couldn't access, until now. Realization sank in that the battle wasn't just emotional, it was personal, and I had stumbled into the eye of a storm I didn't know existed. I confronted Sophie the next day, voice tight with anger and hurt. She denied everything, her tone casual, almost rehearsed. "You're imagining things," she said, eyes avoiding mine. My anger erupted. Accusations flew. She countered with irritation, and our apartment became a war zone of shouting, tears, and shattered plates. Words once tender became weapons. Every denial felt like salt in the wound. Every excuse made my heart sink deeper. The fight escalated past reason, unraveling years of love and trust in minutes. Our marriage, once my safe haven, now felt like a battlefield. By evening, I understood there was no fixing this. Denials and half-truths had destroyed the possibility of reconciliation. My hands shook as I packed a bag, feeling a mixture of numbness and resolve. The betrayal had hollowed out the foundation of our life, leaving raw wounds I couldn't ignore. No apology would suffice. No explanation redeemed the deceit. Leaving became inevitable. It was the point of no return. The moment when I realized staying would only prolong the pain and diminish the self-respect I still had left. Later, my worst fears materialized. I found photos, videos, and hidden selfies of Sophie with another man. Intimate moments, stolen kisses, and laughter captured in private corners confirmed her betrayal. The intimacy I thought reserved for our marriage had been shared with someone else. Each image made my stomach churn, my mind reel. The shock was unbearable. My trust and love had been exploited, my reality rewritten by secrecy and lies. The woman I married, who promised forever, had built a clandestine life I was never meant to witness, until now. In the days that followed, I was consumed by heartbreak, confusion, and guilt. Did I miss signs? Could I have prevented this? Every room in our home, every shared memory, felt tainted. Friends tried to console me, but words offered little comfort. I wrestled with self-doubt and anger, feeling betrayed and foolish. Nights were endless. Sleep impossible. Yet amid the despair, a faint determination emerged. I had been wronged, but I had survived. My pain was a teacher, not a punishment, and slowly, I began to confront the reality that some betrayals, however painful, must be faced head-on. Digging deeper, I found the extent of her deception. Hidden emails, travel plans, and months of secret communication revealed premeditation. This wasn't a fleeting mistake, it was deliberate, calculated betrayal. Every interaction I had cherished, every smile I trusted, had been a mask for a double life. My heart sank as I realized the depth of her planning and duplicity. The betrayal wasn't just emotional. It was systematic. The evidence made it impossible to deny the reality. My wife had built a secret world, and I had unknowingly been living beside it for years. When confronted, Sophie's denial lasted mere moments. Tears and rushed confessions spilled forth, blaming stress, loneliness, and attraction. But the proof was overwhelming. Her explanations crumbled under scrutiny. Her admission brought neither relief nor closure, only bitter clarity. The woman I loved and trusted had intentionally deceived me, and her confession offered nothing but affirmation of her duplicity. Listening, I felt numb, rage and heartbreak intertwined. The person I knew no longer existed in my life, replaced by someone unrecognizable, someone I could never trust again. That night, I left. No shouting, no theatrics, just silent resolve. I walked out, suitcase in hand, leaving behind a home filled with memories now poisoned by deceit. I didn't glance back. The city lights blurred as I drove away, tears mixing with rain, a mix of heartbreak and liberation. It was an end, but also a beginning. The first steps toward reclaiming my dignity, my sanity, and the life I deserved. Leaving wasn't defeat. It was the only choice left for a man betrayed so profoundly. In the following weeks, loneliness and despair dominated my nights. Memories of Sophie's laughter, her touch, haunted me. I oscillated between anger, grief, and longing, struggling to accept reality. Friends offered advice, yet none could heal the wounds. I questioned my judgment, my capacity to trust, and even love itself. The desperation was suffocating. Yet amid it, a quiet resolve emerged. I would rebuild my life, reclaim my identity, and never allow betrayal to define my future. The pain was a teacher, guiding me toward strength I didn't know I possessed. 6 months later, life looked entirely different. I moved cities, changed jobs, and began a fresh chapter. The scars of betrayal remained, subtle but constant reminders of lessons learned. Sophie's attempts to contact me went unanswered. I had no desire to revisit the past. Slowly, sleep returned, trust in small things re-emerged, and I rebuilt connections with friends. Life moved forward, fragile yet resilient. The betrayal had changed me, but it hadn't destroyed me. I discovered inner strength and clarity, and a sense of peace I never imagined I could regain. Eventually, Sophie reached out, demanding explanations and reconciliation, acting as if her betrayal was my fault. Her sense of entitlement was staggering. I realized then how deeply her selfishness ran, and that some people deceive without remorse, expecting forgiveness and grace for their misdeeds. Recognizing her entitlement allowed me to close the door completely, without guilt or hesitation. The betrayal wasn't just an act, it was a reflection of her character, something I refused to accommodate. Understanding this empowered me to reclaim the narrative and move forward, free from her manipulations. Friends, family, and colleagues were shocked when the full story emerged. Some sympathized, others questioned my trust. I shared my journey not for revenge but to highlight how betrayal can be invisible, hidden behind smiles and reassurances. Their reactions reinforced my resolve. Trust is earned, and vigilance is essential in love. Betrayal leaves scars but also provides wisdom. Sharing my experience became cathartic, a way to transform heartbreak into clarity and empowerment. I emerged stronger, aware, and unafraid to love again, but with eyes wide open. The lesson was harsh but vital. Love is sacred, but trust must be nurtured and protected. Betrayal can come from those closest to us, and appearances can deceive. Pain, though agonizing, teaches resilience, self-worth, and discernment. Life after betrayal is not about revenge. It is about survival, growth, and reclaiming joy. I am wiser, stronger, and more cautious in love. Some doors, once closed, remain closed forever, and understanding that boundary is the ultimate lesson betrayal can teach.